Welcome to the vlog.
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 Welcome to the vlog. Season 6.
Welcome to the vlog.
I had an early start to the day on Monday, and because I'm very kind and considerate, I kept the lights off while Turner slept in the background. Once he left, I was able to just lock in and get on with work. It was actually really warm in my room, so I threw my head under cold water to cool down, and then eventually it was time for us to go on our Monday ride. I was feeling a little bit fatigued because I had just done a brick session the day before, but I was still able to push really hard. The pizza had some malfunctions, but overall it was a good day, and I was able to get to bed early. I was up at about 4:50 and out on my ride really early so I could get to the gym with George, and then I was off to work, and this was a really busy day at the office. I didn't really film much, but I think overall I'm just being plagued with beginnings of anxiety about the Ironman race and feeling like I have a lot of logistics to take care of. I had a really lovely dinner with my family, but I was starting to get a little bit strained and stressed about everything, which is a bit unfortunate. Morning, I had a slight sleep in. It's about 6:20 right now, and I actually woke up naturally at 5:50 and I just relaxed a little bit. I am starting my mini taper. I'm not doing like an extreme one for the half Ironman just because since I'm training for the full and this is kind of like a dress rehearsal for me, I do have to go back to pretty intense training after a quick recovery from the half Ironman. I'm just taking it a little easy. So today we're just doing a weightlifting session with George. We're only focusing on upper body. I don't want to fuck up my legs before the race, and tonight I am gonna go on a really short bike ride, like an hour or less, and just go over to my parents' place after dinner, and we're gonna take down my bike and put it in the bike bag. Bringing my bike to Calgary is going to be the part that stresses me out a little bit, but I just have to keep telling myself that I have lots of people supporting me. I've brought my bike on a plane before, and I'm just not gonna stress too much about it. Tonight I'm also gonna pack for the trip. I biked over to the gym, and George and I had a really nice session, and then just got home, got back to work, and again, it was just another day that was full of meetings. I was running around a bit more, but it ended with cake, which was nice, and then it was time for my last ride in Vancouver before the race. I did a lap of Stanley Park and then a half lap before going over to my grandparents for dinner, and then I went over to my parents' house and my dad helped me take down my bike. I'm feeling really nervous about putting on the back wheel in particular, but I will have people helping me. I just have to keep telling myself. And then I came home and packed everything up. I'm actually very impressed with myself. I was able to pack everything in less than an hour and set out my workout clothes for tomorrow's run. It's just gonna be probably around 7K, easy running. I'm feeling good about tomorrow. On top of all of this stuff going on with the race, I also have a large workload going on right now, so I think there's just a lot on my mind in terms of stress. I'm just trying to keep lots of packing lists and reminders for things. I think everything's gonna go fine. I'm really grateful to my dad who put the bike in the bike bag, but I am nervous about putting everything back together again, so that's gonna be a tricky situation that we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and I'll have Molly, Turner, and Luca to help build that bike back together. And then also there's I think a bike mechanic or a station at the package pickup that can help look at the bike. I literally can't believe this race is already here. I remember signing up for it almost a year ago and feeling like it was really far away and I didn't have to think about it, and now it's only a couple days away and I'm about to fly to Calgary to go do my first half Ironman. So I'm ready. It's just a lot of new things at once. Last run in Vancouver before the race, I did 7.5 kilometers and I was feeling a little tired, but it was good. From there, it was a pretty early start to the workday, trying to get ahead of myself before the weekend. Work's been going well. I'm having a bit of trouble concentrating. I just feel very anxious right now. The race nerves are hitting. And we're still 3 days out. I'm hoping it's one of those things that I'm really anxious right now because I haven't gotten to Calgary yet, and once I get there it'll be a little bit better. Obviously I don't think there's any changing that on the day of I'm gonna be super nervous, No, I'm just emotional. Emma just texted me being like, is there a way for me to track you from Vancouver? Like, that is like the sweetest thing ever. Okay, let's be positive. There's like so many people like supporting me, and like this isn't even like, okay, it is the real thing, because I don't want to like, I was about to say it isn't the real thing because it's the half, but it really is a good accomplishment. And it's scary. Like, I'm scared. I'm like really nervous, and like we're at the frontier of something entirely new. And I have to remember that I felt this way before doing my first marathon. And looking back now, it's easy for me to dismiss how scary that was, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already done it, and I've already run so much since then, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I even look back at the training that I was doing last year with cycling, and I can feel how much stronger I am now. And all of it has been like these stepping stones to get to where I am now. And I'm so proud of myself, but it's still really, really scary, and I'm like physically quite uncomfortable right now. But you know, that cheesy saying, discomfort is where you grow. I just have to get used to it. I was able to lock in for the afternoon and get in all of my tasks for the day. So at the end, I felt happy. This clip was funny because my camera was just being a little weird, but finished off my last couple meetings. I went to my parents' house to get my bike. I had one more meeting there before it was time for us to head off to the airport, and I was again a little nervous. It's not fun traveling with a bike, but everything went really well, and we got to the airport, got a little snack, trying to eat lots before this race. And a flight to Calgary is so easy, so the flight went really well. The bike came at the airport, and I was just super relieved to get all that done. So it was just another thing off the list of things that was giving me anxiety. We ended up getting a really nice car for the rental because we had originally rented a minivan, and we got a little Audi. Got to the Airbnb. It was really nice. It was great space, and it was pretty close to the race, so I was really happy. And then the next morning, got up bright and early to get started on the workday. I don't have vacation left, so I have to thug it out and work despite the major race anxiety. Turner and I made a quick trip to No Frills to get some fuel, and then I came back, finished off the workday. I felt really good during the day. Turner was super tired, so we had to take a nap. During my lunch break, we built the bike together, and this was something that I feel really proud of for doing. I mean, Turner and I did it together. He helped a lot, but I think that this is one of those things that I never envisioned that I could do without my dad, and we were able to do it together. So I was just super proud of myself and really happy that the bike was built. I had some meetings in the afternoon, and then Molly and Luca finally came and they made some grilled cheeses, and we just relaxed in the afternoon watching some YouTube, a lot of Ironman related content, and then it was time for us to go pick up the race kit. I was really excited to see kind of the area that I'd be racing in and to get that done. Package pickup went really smoothly, and I was really excited by being there and just feeling like this was the real thing. I got home and put the bike to the test. I just did 10 kilometers to see if everything was good. Hello, we got back from the expo. We had a really good time. Let's show off some of this merch from the Ironman 70.3 race pickup. Some of it was like free. I say free in quotation marks because I paid to enter this race, and then some of it I paid extra to buy while I was there just because I want some memorabilia. Thankfully, this race shirt was free, and it's like a nice workout material, so I can use it for runs probably. This backpack, I think it's going to be my new swim pack, so I can also flex on other people that I'm in an Ironman as well. New running hat, matches the shirt. Everything's like a nice, like subtle color. Sometimes I find race gear to be a bit obnoxiously colorful, and it's not a color I like, so then you don't really want to rewear it. But I like all of this. These are the swim caps that they have us all wearing, and then these are the things I purchased with my own money. I got this Ironman water bottle. Again, I wanted to remember it this day. And then I got these Ironman logo socks. They're not specific to this race, so I'll probably wear or I'm gonna wear those tomorrow, but I would love to wear these also on the real Ironman day. And then also want to give a shout out to F2C Nutrition. I am not sponsored by them, obviously, but We met the owner of the company and he was so nice and he explained everything about their different products and everything. And this is also one of the, this is gonna be the, they're gonna have this specific product during the race. What?
This is the.
I'm having trouble talking. This is gonna be the product that's gonna be given during the race, especially during the bike part. But yeah, just meeting the owner of the company was really nice. He had a long talk with us. It was cool. I'm still rippling through waves of nerves about the race. I'm super scared, but I think I'm feeling a bit better about it. Molly and Luca ended up meeting up with some friends in downtown Calgary, so Turner and I just made dinner together. We ended up having a lot of breakfast food in the house. We didn't really plan for dinners that well, so we just had breakfast food for dinner and then went to bed. I slept really poorly. My watch wasn't lighting up properly, but I was up from like 1 till 3 a.m. And then eventually I just got up and made myself breakfast because I figured I wasn't going to fall asleep. And then I just got ready to go do my practice swim. The nerves were really hitting. I was not feeling very confident about it. We are heading off to do a couple errands before going off to do a practice swim in the lake. New backpack and new hat being worn. I'm currently wearing, like you saw before, a wetsuit, but like a shorter one. It is cold outside, and like if I didn't have to race in the full wetsuit tomorrow, I would have preferred to wear a full length one, but I just don't want to deal with a wet wetsuit tomorrow. I really only want to do like 500 to 1,000 meters of swimming today. I was having nightmares last night about the swim. I was having dreams that I couldn't move my lower body. I was having dreams that I was getting pulled when I was doing the swim. Obviously not pleasant, but we're up. This is real life and we're gonna do it. I just feel like huge imposter syndrome about getting in the water because honestly, I've been really lacking with my swim practice. It's been a bit of an unfortunate deficit on my end. All I can do is hope that tomorrow goes well, hope that this practice goes well. I am a good swimmer. I just have to stay calm and do better for the actual Ironman in October. So I didn't film too much of it, but basically we got to the race area and I felt like crying. I literally was trying so hard to hold it together and I had a panic attack in the water. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but it was awful. I hated it. I don't want to give it too much energy before the race because I don't want to think about it too much, but when I went on the swim today, I think I did have a very small panic attack. Usually when I swim, my heart rate is like 110 on average. I only swam 344 meters and it was like at 148 and I felt really uncomfortable in the water. And I have a lot of like nerves and everything right now. So it was obviously like really discouraging as a practice swim before tomorrow, but the athletes briefing was really helpful. The swim course is really safe. They have like 30 people on kayaks or boats watching the entire course, and each run of the course is only 850 meters and you do it twice and you get out of the water. So you can like in theory at 850 meters get out of the water and take a second and go back in. I know I'll be okay. I'm just really having to not think negative thoughts about tomorrow's swim and just remind myself I have trained for it. I'll be okay. I just really need to stay positive and like almost shut my brain off while I do the swim and stay calm. The rest of the evening is just about staying relaxed and we have everything ready. Everything's prepared. Just need to eat carbs, eat some salts, and whatever happens tomorrow happens. And I just want to finish the race. Things got even worse. I had food and then realized I couldn't find my wallet. We went to the race area and did a search, and as you can see, there was like also thunderstorms and the weather had changed to say it was going to rain for the race day. So I was in a pretty negative headspace. I had a really nice dinner with everyone. Molly and Luca made food and it was so tasty, so that was good. And at that point I just really had to lock in and be positive about the actual day. To end this very chaotic day, after my nap, I realized that my wallet was nowhere to be found. I brought the wallet to drop off my bike because I thought maybe they would need ID at some point in that process. We lost it, so I just feel really discombobulated. we ended up, as you saw, going back to try and find it, and we did like a little search of the area, checked with the race organizers. Nobody's returned anything yet, but hopefully it'll turn up tomorrow. Otherwise I'm gonna have to cancel all my cards and get new ID. Luckily I brought my passport with me, so I'll be able to get on the flight home, but I'm just I was feeling really upset right now. I'm trying not to think about it, just get ready for the race tomorrow. I'm not allowed to bring like phones or filming stuff, so Turner, Luca, and Molly have kindly agreed to document some of the day tomorrow. I kind of feel like crying thinking about tomorrow, but I think like as long as I can get through the swim, I know I can get through the rest of the race. So it's just coming down to like being uncomfortable for 45 to 50 minutes and then it'll be done. I set my alarm for 4 a.m. so that I could properly eat and digest before we had to leave. Finished eating breakfast, drinking coffee, and now just digesting, and we leave for the start line in half an hour. I'm like trying to strike a fine balance between being honest and being positive, because right now I just feel so nervous and I don't want to give that too much energy though, because I just have to trust myself right now. I really do need to be positive and just tell myself I can do it and get this swim done. It just doesn't help. Obviously, swimming is a sport that really relies on calm breathing, and it's just so crazy because when I'm in the pool, I already said this, but like I can get into a really good rhythm with my breathing. And the other times I've open water swam, I've been okay. I just really need to keep telling myself it's okay. I have a lot of mantras when I cycle, and I think I'm just gonna have to like have a lot of mantras while I'm swimming and just have a really positive mindset, and I can get into a pain cave on the cycle and the run, but the swim needs to be like a crisp, pristine, good mindset. I really didn't have anything positive to say, so I didn't film myself too much after that. We were just getting over to the race. It was really rainy and my headspace was bleak at this point. Hello, it's me from the future. I am just gonna help narrate this race recap. After Turner dropped me off, I didn't have like a phone or anything. I was just there with my own thoughts at the race. Basically just went to my bike, got everything set up, went to the washroom one last time before the race, and then essentially kind of like herded into the beach area where we were going to start, and the course was 2 laps. We had 4 like spotting points to go from and 4 turns essentially in this entire lap, and the lap was around 850 meters each. And as we were waiting, we were kind of separated off into different sections where you could choose what time you were expecting to do the swim in. So I just went in the last group, so that was about 55 minutes, and I just felt like I know I can swim like maybe a bit faster than this, but it's better to just like not be around people that are trying to go ahead of me. And I think this was the right move because the group of people that I was around were also people that were feeling really nervous, and people were joking about not knowing how to swim, and it just made me feel a little bit better because I was feeling super anxious about it, and I didn't want to talk about it earlier in the vlog because it was actually happening to me, but I genuinely wasn't sure if I was going to get through the swim after how badly my practice swim went. Like I had this feeling in my head of like, oh my god, I couldn't even get through 400 meters the day before without having a panic attack. Like how am I going to get through this open water swim on the day of? But I got in the water and I just told myself like, you need to stay calm. And probably for the first 200 meters, I didn't put my head in the water. I did like a little front crawl with my head up. I think that really helped with my nerves because I just, every time I tried to put my head underwater, I could feel like that feeling of a panic attack. And I was like, just keep your head above. If you have to do the whole race with your head above, so be it, but just keep your head above. And at somewhere around 200 meters, I was like, okay, so try putting your head in for one stroke. Because usually at the pool, I'll do 1, 2, 3, breathe, and I alternate sides. But for most of the swim during the open water, I was just doing 1, 2, breathe, and I was breathing on the same side. And then every once in a while, I would alternate. And honestly, the spotting wasn't as challenging as I thought it would be. There was no like current or like wind that was like pulling us in a different direction. So I think that helped a lot. And I was just really focused on like not thinking about the entire course. I was only thinking about the spotting buoy that was like in front of me, and I was like, just make it to that one and then you focus on the next one. And that really helped. When I got out of the water for the first lap, you have to do like a little run across the beach to get back in. I was a little dizzy, but I was just like, okay, you got this, you did one, you can do another. And the second lap I think went a lot better. Like I was able to like do some more comfortable strokes. And when I got to the end, I was just so happy that I was like smiling from ear to ear when I was out of the water, and I looked down at my watch and I got like 47 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, like that's really not that bad. Like I'm happy with that. So I got out of the water, and they have an area where they have volunteers that strip down your wetsuit. So that was really great. They helped with that a lot. And I'm soaking wet. It's cold out, but I have so much adrenaline that I don't even really feel it. I run to my bike, and Turner, Molly, and Luca are at the transition area at the gate, and it was really nice to see them. At that point, I was just so happy that the swim got done that I was really not paying attention to how cold it was yet. I know my hands were cold because I couldn't use them. Like I was trying to put things on. I was trying to put my Garmin on my bike, put my socks on, put my shoes on, and I could not use my hands. Like they were just like, I couldn't bend my fingers because of how cold they were. But it was so weird. I didn't feel it. I'm like struggling to get all of my bike stuff on, and it's starting to rain, and I'm just trying to like stay positive because I'm like, this is the day we have. There's not another day. There's not a do-over. So we're just going to deal with the rain for this bike. And I had like these inklings of a thought of like, how am I going to ride like 88 kilometers in the rain? And I was like, you can't think about that. Like you just have to get on the bike. So eventually I finally managed to get all of my bike stuff on, got a gel in, and then I was out on the road, and I was feeling really strong on the bike actually. And funny enough, I thought this course was going to be really hilly because I read on the map that it was 700 meters of elevation. It turns out it was in feet, so it was really flat, but I kept holding back on the bike because I'm like, there's going to be like a really bad hill somewhere. And we had some like climbs that were like 500 meters long, but there was nothing crazy. And in retrospect, I really wish I had understood that it was 700 feet because I would have gone harder on the bike. And also during the bike, it was so rainy. The roads were really slippery and you were just getting soaked. The wind was coming at you. My hands again did not recover from like being numb. I was like, also like, because it's so slippery, like I'm holding onto the brakes a lot. Like I didn't feel as comfortable going into the aero position as much as I think I would have had it been like a really sunny, dry day. I mean, like if you've ever ridden on like a wet, slick road, it's not the most comfortable feeling in terms of your own safety. So I got into aero during the flats, but then if there was any downhill, I just like, I'd rather be safe and not crash. And then at one point I remember like trying to squeeze my hands and they started spasming. They hurt so much from gripping the brakes and being so cold and numb. And I was like, fuck, like my body's starting to hurt. And I remember at one point I was going up a hill and like your muscles are so cold that pushing on the hill was just like not as comfortable as I am when I push on hills in warmer weather. So the weather was a bit unfortunate, and ultimately the bike course ended up getting cut short for a lot of people, including myself. Like honestly, I think only the pros were quick enough to do to start the second lap before they closed it off. So at one point we were heading back and I was like, oh my God, I took a wrong turn. Like I'm not supposed to head back to the transition zone yet. I'm only on my first lap. And then I like saw a volunteer and I was like, I think I'm on the wrong path. Like I'm only on my first lap. And they're like, no, we shut down the second lap. Just go back to transition and do the run. I was a little peeved because like cycling is obviously the strongest sport. But if I'm looking at it from the perspective of trying to get practice for Ironman, like the bike is the thing I'm least worried about. And the swim and the run are things I need to focus on. So those weren't canceled. I did the full distances for those. So I'm like, okay, just go back. So we get back. I think by the time I got back, it was starting to warm up a bit. And so the transition went really well, had a gel, and then I started running. I really needed to use the washroom. And I started needing to use the washroom on the bike, but at no point did I really want to get off the bike and go. So when I was on the run, I was like, okay, you need to stop at a porta potty somewhere. And I kept going past porta potties and there was like none that were open. I'm like, fuck my life. I'm going to like, sorry, but I'm gonna shit myself. Like I was like freaking the fuck out. And so from the transition point to the first out and back, it's 4 kilometers. And so it was one of the longest 4 kilometers of my life because I'm like the whole time passing porta potties that aren't open. And I'm like, oh fuck, like this, like you hear horror stories of people shitting themselves during like triathlon races and you assume that won't be me. I was like, this might be me. Like it might be my time to have a really horrific poop story. So I'm running and eventually I get to kilometer 4 and I'm like, you know what? You just need to wait outside an outhouse. Like there's no time to like wait for a free one. So I get to kilometer 4. It's like a turnabout. I like wait there and I take the time to like eat another gel because I'm like, okay, I'm not moving. This is probably the most comfortable I'm going to be eating. I take the gel and then finally I get to use the washroom and then I come out. I feel amazing. I'm like, I think those were like my fastest kilometers in the race. Like kilometer 4 until probably kilometer 16, I was like, I feel so good. I'm like, I go back, I start the second lap, and then I would say kilometer 16, 17, I was like, oh, like I'm getting a little tired. But I kept hydrating, I kept eating, and I would kind of come back up. So it was like really good. I felt really on top of my nutrition and my hydration. When I would get to an aid station, I would walk it. I would take the cup with the electrolytes. I would drink it. Then I would start running again. So I was really proud of myself. Those were the only times that I walked. And for the most part, I was really getting a good stride in. I was happy. I was in a good headspace for most of the run. Around kilometer 18 is when I saw Turner and Molly and Luca. And that was really great. I was so happy to see them. And I was, at that point, you're at 18K, you're almost done. But sometimes those last few kilometers really put you to the test. Like, it's so funny because I keep telling myself, like, you've run 2 kilometers before, you've run 3 kilometers before, you get to kilometer 20 and you're like, I've run a kilometer before, you can do it. But it's so painful because you're so close but you're not quite there yet. And so I was really trying to push. I think my last kilometer I did really well, but I was tired at the end. And then I finally get to the finish line and I cross it. I was so happy. It was like a great feeling, but overshadowing everything, as you saw before, I had lost my wallet. And so I was really hoping somebody would have turned it into lost and found. So I got to the finish line. I was really happy, get my medal. And then I talked to somebody. I'm like, did anybody return a wallet into lost and found? And they were like, no, sorry. I kind of, at that point, was just like, okay, I did the race. I did really well. I'm soaking wet. I'm starting to freeze. The wallet's gone. Let's just head home. Maybe spoiler alert, the wallet did end up coming back, but just not quite yet. Anyways, back to the regular vlog. We had to shuttle back to the parking, and while we were going to pick up my bike, I got the best news in the world. Someone found my wallet and just messaged me. I saw it. I needed to suffer yesterday to understand how good today feels. 2 residents of the area we were racing in found the wallet on the side of the grass where I thought I lost it. They ended up picking it up and finding it. I was so grateful to them. We had a little nap and some food, and then we went out for dinner, and the sun decided to come out. So it was a little bit annoying that it came out after the race, but it's okay. We went to get Mexican food. My appetite was really weird. I was really hungry before the restaurant. As soon as we got there, I was not feeling as well. And then we got to Dairy Queen, and I was like, oh, I could definitely eat again. So Turner and I shared a Blizzard, and then Molly got a fudge sundae, so I also had some of hers. And then the next morning, we were up bright and early to get on our flight home. So I haven't been sleeping very well, but it's okay. I was still having nightmares about the race, even though it was already over. So I'm excited to sleep tonight and not have that problem. I've just eaten my lunch, having a cup of coffee. I didn't have coffee this morning. I'm trying to delay my caffeine intake to get me through the rest of the day. I'm fucking exhausted. We don't really have a choice. We gotta work. I'm going easy on myself today. I spent the morning kind of catching up on emails and just trying to calm my body down from being home and being in like a safe space because this weekend was really chaotic. Now I have about 3 hours until the workday ends, and I have one thing that I'm telling myself I can work on. Usually I'm like trying to fit in a million things in the day, but we're gonna finish one task today. It's a bigger one, so it could take the full 3 hours. And if I finish it, I'll be really happy. It's actually insane the difference in temperature between Calgary and Vancouver right now. It was really hot this entire afternoon. I was sweaty at my desk, and my new personality is this water bottle and that I've completed a half Ironman. I ended off the day by doing a 35-kilometer ride with my dad, and then I had pizza with my parents and was able to debrief the whole race with them. And I'm very tired, so I headed home and I'm ready to rest up and finally get some sleep after a lot of insomnia.
You guys, I guess, already know how I feel about the actual race. I think the thing that's been lingering with me a bit and what gave me nightmares last night was just imagining doing the full Ironman and how painful that's going to be. Yesterday went really well, and I think like I came out of it feeling really good and all that, but there's still this feeling of anxiety of like yesterday was still hard, and Ironman California is going to be even harder. I'm trying to push that anxiety into the back seat and focus on what I can control, which is training and continuing to practice my fueling, my swimming, just thinking about the lessons that I learned from this race yesterday. I'm really grateful to all the support I received from Turner, Molly, and Luca. I really don't think I could have done the weekend without them. There was a lot of highs with how great the race went, but there was also a lot of lows with losing my wallet, having a panic attack in the water, and like just how cold it was on the actual race day. And having them there was really helpful, and also just all the people that messaged me either before or after the race to show their support. It meant a lot. I felt really just loved by my community, and I have some tough training ahead of me. It was really good to do this race and to get this accomplishment done. That's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.